Hi, in this particular lecture video, we'll be discussing about high frequency model of MOSFET and frequency response of common source amplifier. So high frequency model. So this particular figure shows the small signal model of the MOSFET, which includes all the capacitance, all the four capacitance, that is CGS, CGD, CSB, and CDB. Right. So this is the small signal model of the MOSFET. So this model can be used to predict the high frequency response of the MOSFET amplifier. So we can make use of this particular amplifier to determine how this particular MOSFET reacts for the uh, higher frequencies. This is a complex model, and it cannot be analyzed manually. It cannot be analyzed manually. So this kind of model can be used for computer simulations to get better accuracy of the higher frequency response. We make use of this kind of models for computer simulations. We use spice tool for we use spice tool for modeling analyzing this particular circuit, but it is not suitable for manual analysis. Hence, we go with the second type of circuit. So this is the equivalent circuit where we merge the source and the body. Right. Here you can see we are connecting the source with the body compared to the previous slide, previous diagram. This source and body, these two will be combined together. When we combine these two together, the capacitance, that is source to base capacitance, or source to body capacitance, can be neglected. It can be neglected, so the figure becomes this. Uh, it gets reduced to this particular circuit or model as shown. To make even more simple, we neglect this drain to body capacity. So the simplified circuit can be rewritten as shown in this particular figure C. So here CGD plays a significant role in determining high frequency response of the amplifier. So this will be studying in the next videos. So how this CGD, gate to drain capacitance, plays an important role in determining the higher frequency. So that will be studied in the next coming lecture videos. So keep in mind that CGD, it plays a very important role in determining the high frequency response of the amplifier. So this will be the simple model what we can make use of for manual analysis of the amplifier, MOSFET amplifier. So next is frequency response of CS amplifier. In this particular, we study the dependency of the gain on the frequency of the input signal. How the gain is dependent on the frequency of the input signal what we are applying. So there are three different frequency bands. So they'll be having three different frequency bands. This figure shows the capacitive coupled common source amplifier. So capacitive coupled here CC1 and CC2 are coupling capacitors, which acts as a bypass which acts as a bypass capacitors, which blocks DC, and it allows only AC to pass through it. So we assume that CC1, CC2, and CS acts as a short circuit for all frequencies of interest, right? It will be acting as a short circuit for all the desired frequency of interest, and the internal capacitance, what we consider, that is gate to source and gate to drain capacitance, is assumed to be, it is very small. It is assumed to be very small, and it acts as an open circuit for all the signal frequencies of interest. Right. So here we have applied the signal. This is a common source amplifier. So here we are applying the signal source V signal to the gate of the MOSFET through our signal. Right. So why we use this coupling capacitor, in the sense it blocks DC. If this coupling capacitor is not used, then uh, the Q point or the bias point for which we have designed this amplifier will change, because the external DC voltage can change the Q point or the Q point of this or bias point of this particular amplifier. Thus, the gain varies. In order to avoid that, we make use of a coupling capacitor, right? We have a resistance which is connected between VDD to drain terminal, and we have a current source VSS which is connected to the source terminal, and we have a bypass capacitance CS, and a load resistance which is connected to the output. Okay. So in this, we are more concerned about the frequency response of the CS amplifier rather than the CS circuit, right? So this shows the frequency response of the CS, that is common source amplifier. So the frequency response of the common source amplifier has three bands. As I told, it has a lower frequency band, low frequency band, mid frequency band, and high frequency band. So the low frequency band, the gain falls. So here, the low frequency band, the gain falls in the low frequency band due to the effect of the coupling capacitors, that is CC1, CC2, and the source capacitance CS. Even though they are very large capacitance, as the signal frequency is reduced, their impedance increases. As the frequency reduces, its impedance resistance increases, and no longer they will be behavior as a short circuit. Because of that, the gain will fall at lower frequency bands. Right? In mid frequency band, and the gain in mid frequency band, the gain is constant over a wide range of frequency band. So this we call it as mid band. So you can see the gain is constant. Gain will be constant for a large range of frequency between FL to FH. Right? Hence we call that as a mid band frequency, and the value of mid band is gain. The value of midband gain AM is given as V naught by V signal, which is equal to minus GM by R signal plus RG into GM into R naught parallel with RD parallel with RL, right? Uh, the midband gain is a useful frequency band of the amplifier. So we are always much concerned about this particular midband when designing any given circuit, because your circuit operating band, from which band of frequency to which band of frequency it operates, so that will be determined by this particular midband, right? Then high frequency band, in high frequency band, the gain falls here. The At higher frequencies, the gain gets rolled off, or the gain falls because of CGS, that is internal capacitance, that is gate source capacitance, and gate to drain capacitance, CGS and CGD, right? So even though it is very small, their impedance at high frequency decreases. This decrease in impedance at higher frequency, it won't make this that particular capacitance as an open circuit. No longer it will be an open circuit. Hence, the gain will roll off at the higher frequency because of internal capacitance. So the amplifier bandwidth, or 3 dB bandwidth, the bandwidth is concerned at 3 dB from the mean midband gain. So here we'll take 3 dB point, which is also called as a half power point. So the difference between the lower 3 dB and higher 3 dB frequency gives you the amplifier bandwidth. So bandwidth will be FH minus FL. Since FL is very much smaller compared to FH, we can write the bandwidth is approximately equal to the higher cutoff frequency, that is FH. The gain bandwidth product. So gain bandwidth product is nothing but the gain multiplied with the bandwidth. Gain multiplied with the bandwidth. So where AM is the midband gain, and BW represents the bandwidth. So normally there will be a trade-off between the gain and bandwidth. That means if the gain is more, then the bandwidth will be less. If you increase the bandwidth, then the gain reduces. So if you want higher band, then we have to compromise with the gain. If you want high gain, then we have to compromise with the bandwidth, right? So we make use of negative feedback amplifiers for increasing the bandwidth at the cost of reduced gain, right? So this is all about the frequency response of the CS amplifier. In the next lecture video, we'll be discussing about low frequency response and high frequency response of the amplifiers.